I do hope you're all keeping well. And I'm going to be sharing some insights and thoughts on doing an LLM here at the School of Law, University of Aberdeen. So I do hope you're excited and you're ready to start breaking boundaries. My name is Dr. Eddy Wifa. I am the school's postgraduate taught coordinator or the LLM director. I am an energy law lecturer here, and I've been working with the university for the last 4.5 years. I did my master's in oil and gas law back in 2013, graduated with a first, and went on to do a PhD that was sponsored by the university. So my PhD covers offshore wind risk governance, and that's the area that I specialize in and I teach and research as well. I co-founded the African Natural Resource Energy Law Network and now recently formed the Global South Law Research Network with my colleague, Dr. Titi Adebola. So that's a bit of background about me, but it's really great to have you all join, and hopefully we can engage with the benefits of studying here at the School of Law and doing your PGT. So some of the things that we will not be covering today includes, I wouldn't be going into details on scholarship and funding, but you can certainly, use the link there to access students funding and scholarship opportunities. Things like fees and accommodation, as they're largely administrative issues, I wouldn't be covering that as well. But the links you see there are absolutely useful and you could easily access them. So that's the very beautiful campus here at the University of Aberdeen. That's our new King's building. So if you're joining us, that's one of the buildings where you would be having your classes, in addition to other fantastic architectural masterpieces here at the School of Law, University of Aberdeen. But that's a really beautiful weather, fantastic picture over there. Now, you would ask yourself, why University of Aberdeen? Why study law? So we're ranked 11th in the UK for law, and that is by the Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide 2024. More specifically, we are third in Scotland and 16th in the UK for law by the Guardian University Guide 2025. We are fourth in Scotland and 17th in the UK for law by the Complete University Guide. So a variety of rankings, but really, really, well ranked, essentially. In terms of energy law, which is the area of my expertise and one of the sectors we really, really pride ourselves as being very high valued in, we are top 10 in energy law LLMs in the world, and that's by the LLM Guide 2025. So LLM energy transitional law is also new and really, really fast, fast growing as well. They are top 5 most sought after law school in the UK by Postgraduate Solutions Limited 2024. And our graduate success rate is really, really high, and that's about 94.8%. And it really shows that our law graduates, are able to secure employment or pursue further studies within 15 months of graduation. And that's from the Graduate Outcome Survey 2023. So whatever metric you're using, I think one thing is clear, and that is we're really, really highly ranked, both in Scotland and in the UK. And when it comes to energy law, more specifically, very, very well ranked in the world. So top 10. Aberdeen is a fantastic location. Really, really beautiful city. I have been living here for the last 11 years and I've loved it. And each time I have to leave Aberdeen, I am eager to get back. It's located in the northeast of Scotland and it is the third largest city in Scotland. We've got an international airport, and that's just about 15-minute drive from the center. And one of the things we joke about here in Aberdeen is nowhere is really too far. So you really, really can commute from one end to the other, almost effortlessly. It's just about an hour flight from London Heathrow. So if you're landing in Heathrow and you have to come over to Aberdeen, it's no problem. It's just an hour flight or an hour 30 minutes flight from Amsterdam if you're connecting. The trains are really, really efficient, and you're looking at a population of about 228,000. So it's really, really not overcrowded, and that means the facilities here at the in Aberdeen is quite well suited for the population overall. The weather is milder than you think, and I know sometimes people, don't really realize that, but it is. You can have a winter that's about 4 degrees and a summer that's about 18 degrees. So, really, really good weather. Really vibrant restaurants and cafes and bars. So there's no shortage of where to go for lunch or dinner or just to hang out with friends. Really, really good movies and all those sort of things. It's an international city, so easily you would have cuisines from all over the world. We've got 6 museums and art galleries, and it's just 1 hour drive from the Kaigons. Really, really beautiful park, and we've got about 260 castles. So if you're, excited or enchanted by castles and all of these things, you're really going to have a lot of options here. We've got lots of supermarkets, international supermarkets from all over the world, and so you would not run short of where to get, really, really unique articles or items. We've got a really vibrant online LLM program as well. And I think it's essential to capture that. So whether you want to come and join us on campus and be part of the on-campus experience for a year, 12 months, or you want to be online as a result of work commitments or family and you're not able to travel, that's an option that people are able to make the most of. And the online program is really designed for very, very flexible learning. So you've got online or blended studies as well, but there's also an on-campus element to it. If, for example, you choose to do anything with professional skills, you would need to fly over to Aberdeen, even if you're an online student, to do that for a while. And we've got a number of really exciting programs, and students have really found them really, really useful. I was talking to a couple of online students last week during our catch-up session, and they didn't hesitate to spell out how fantastic the online programs are. So we've got an LLM in dispute resolution. You've got LLM in international trade law, or LLM international trade law and treaty negotiation. So choice of 2 routes here. You could either do with dissertation or with prof skills, and I'll talk more about prof skills and dissertation in a minute. We've got an LLM in energy transition law. That's one of the courses that I'll be teaching with colleagues like Dr. Daria Shapovalova and other colleagues as well. And so you've got the choice of doing a dissertation or prof skills as well. And then we've got LLM oil and gas law, and that's one of the courses that I coordinate. You could also do that as a dissertation or prof skills. So we really ranked high, top 10 for online and hybrid LLMs in the world by the LM Guide 2024. So that's really, really well ranked. So by all means, if you have to do an LLM online, you have that option as well. In terms of our on-campus top programs, we've got Top Masters, General LLM, we've got Energy and Environmental, we've got Commercial Law and Trade Law, we've got Human Rights and Criminal Justice, we've also got International Intellectual Property and Information Law, and we've got International Law as well. So if you need more information about these courses, the link is there, and you can grab them. Scholarships and funding, I wouldn't be going into too much detail, but if you click on the link, you would be able to, in some ways, identify a scholarship opportunity that would be suited to you. And so, feel free to have a look at that. But, I could just highlight that international self-funded students could potentially get as much as £8,000 in terms of scholarship support. So that's something to make the most of. A choice of law-focused student societies, and that's because we do understand that as much as we're providing you with learning and all of these things, there is value in engaging in a number of ways with colleagues and your peers and other societies as well. And that partnership and that collegiality is essentially useful to your learning experience. So we've got the Bar Society. We've got the Aberdeen Student Law Review. So if you're writing an article and you're thinking, where do I get to publish this? That's one place you might be able to publish it. We've got the Lawyers Without Borders, and that's that's one of the societies that I volunteered with during my time as a student, and I really enjoyed it. We're able to support a number of research activities for the United Nations and all of these number of charity groups as well, and they found it really useful. Amnesty International and all of that, and we did projects that were really valuable to a number of countries, particularly in the global south. We've got the Aberdeen Law Project, we've got the Junior Lawyers Against Poverty, we've got Commercial Law Society, we've got the Muting Society, a really fantastic society if you enjoy muting and all of those kind of things. And we've got the Law Society and we've got the Dispute Resolution Society. So you could use the link there to see a bit more detail. The picture you see there again, that's a really fantastic weather. It's just, you know, I could see the quad. That's what we call it. We could see the quad just from my office over there. So this is just at the back of the law school building, or just right in the center, because you've got the PGR buildings and all the other law school blocks as well. So it's just somewhere in the center, and that's where people go to have a sit, have lunch, have chats, and all of those things. So really great to see that picture there. And in terms of our teaching and on-campus teaching delivery, you will be learning in different ways. We would have seminars, and seminars are largely 2-hour interactive sessions with workshops and all of those things, you know, engaging with the issues, really complex conversation. So it's something where it's different from a lecture where you would just be listening to a lecturer, but with the seminars, it's more interactive, and that's well suited for masters for a master's degree. We've got workshops, we've got dissertation supervision meetings where applicable. So if you're doing a dissertation, you're going to be having your supervisors. And in some ways, we might have block teaching activities that are appropriate to different courses. So for example, prop skills that runs for about 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. So we might have to do some things, you know, in blocks. And for seminars, we'll be doing them, you know, 2 hours every week or every second week, depending on the course itself. Once you join us for your masters, we really pride ourselves as providing very high level, support, very advanced and sophisticated support that are well suited for our students. And so we will be having things like a 1 week orientation where, and the law school is delighted to offer really comprehensive induction programs. And that's for both January and September entry for 2025, so next year. So it is important you arrive on time, but even if you don't, we would have measures to support you if you miss any part of the orientation. So you know, you would have your own personal, in some ways, catch-up sessions with maybe myself or the admin team, just to help you cover anything that you may have missed. So during the in orientation, you'll be able to meet key members of staff, both academic and support. You'll be able to find more about your degree program and your courses, and you know, if you need to make any last minute changes, you know, that's also allowed. You have about 2 weeks to make those changes, and you get further information about the UK, Scottish law, and meet and get to know fellow students. So it's really a very good time to engage with both academic staff, with students, and understand the environment that you would be spending perhaps the next 12 months of your life studying in. So you'll be hearing from students as well, just to hear their experiences, and you're going to learn more about the Language Center and career opportunities and career center as well. Because if you're from a non-English speaking country, we would provide you with language support, English learning support, which is really part of one of the courses that I coordinate as well, which is known as the Critical Legal Thinking and Scholarship course. The colleagues from the Career Center will also be providing with support as well, and I think that's really helpful in a number of ways. And you could see the stats there showing that a number of our students are able to secure employment or move on to do other things within 15 months of leaving school. And that's where you really get to see the semester timetable and know what exactly it is you will be doing. In terms of your course, once it starts, we start pretty early with critical legal thinking and scholarship, and that's for all students. It's compulsory. It doesn't really count towards your degree, but you just need to pass it. And it's essential because you're really going to be knowing the Aberdeen way of studying, of writing assessments, essays, all those sort of things, of how to think critically, how to cite, how to reference, how to use things like our library databases to assess materials. So, you could study in Aberdeen and you don't necessarily need to buy books because we have a number of materials, thousands of materials that you could, really pick from. And, on that basis, we were able to understand the courses that can be difficult for students sometimes, and we would be able to provide you with the support that is required. Now, the whole idea is that we aim to be flexible, and so you can amend your LLM program or course choice during the first 2 weeks of teaching. And to change that, really, really simple, just send an email to lawpgsupport@aberdeen.ac.uk. And courses can also be changed by students through my curriculum or our other online platforms. I think it's helpful to stress that we provide you with a range of support services as well that are available to you, whether be it mental health, whether it's through the Center for Academic Development or the student support services. We will provide you with a range of support to ensure that you are going through a really exciting academic experience, an enriched academic experience, and I have been a beneficiary of that. And so through, from the welcome week, through inductions, you'll be engaging with all of these staff, colleagues, academic and support to ensure that you are aware of these support services. And I try to encourage students to make the most of these services because they are there for you. But of course, students feel like they don't need to, they feel they're bothering us, but no, absolutely not. And I encourage you to bother us because that's why we're there for you. We're there to support you and make sure you enjoy your experience, your learning experience. So that's the link to student support services. That's a picture of the library. That is the Sir Duncan Rice Library, and really, really beautiful. Once you go in, you don't want to go out. I'm not your number one library fan, but anytime I go into the Sir Duncan Rice Library, it gets me. I spend hours there relatively easily. Now, this is the part where students always have lots of questions, assessments. Yes, we have various forms of assessment, and the whole idea is to test you in various ways. So you would have exams, you would have essays, you would have presentations. I just concluded some presentations recently, and you'd be able to contribute to discussion boards that would also have marks, and then you would have timed online assessment. So they vary, and that's because different assessment models are designed for different skills. So so doing all of this range of assessments means you're going to improve your critical legal thinking skills. You're going to improve your writing and analytical skills, and then you're going to improve your presentation skills as well. So a number of skills here are being developed as well. We've as much as we've got that main library, which is the Sir Duncan Rice Library. That's the general library for everyone. We've got dedicated law library, and that has about 55,000 volumes and subscribes. It holds about 55,000 volumes and subscribes to all the main law journals and legal databases. So you cannot run short of sources, from Westlaw to Hain Online to LexisNexis, lots and lots of material. So if you're writing an essay, you're not really going to run short of where to find materials to write them. So it's really valuable, and we're really happy to have that. Another aspect of our program or your learning that you'll be able to engage with is the research centers. People don't understand how valuable to have research centers that you can be part of. And so, for example, if you're in energy law, energy environment, energy transition law, masters of oil and gas, you will be part of the Aberdeen University Center for Energy Law, and which means not only would you be able to attend seminars, you'll be able to participate and engage and network with well-known academics and industry experts, and that really, really opens you up to the world beyond academia, so that's really something we really pride ourselves as having. And so we've got a number of other centers, including Center for Commercial Law, Center for Public International Law, Center for Private International Law, and Center for Scots Law. We also have other networks, so they're not quite like the centers, but they provide support in very unique ways as well. So we've got the Dispute Resolution Network and the one I coordinate, and with my colleague, Dr. Titi Adebola, the Global South Law Research Network. And we engage in Global South law issues from a variety of lenses. So you will be always welcome to attend all of these sessions. We will be having field trips. We'd encourage you to be part of that and enjoy it as well as part of the overall learning experience. And if there's anything else you want to do, any questions you want to ask, being part of a center just gives you a home beyond the law school, but it gives you a niche area where you could participate and actively get involved in. So we've got a number of alumni, and we're really, really proud of them. So, you're talking of a university that is over 500 years old. You're now considering all the really, really powerful and well-known legal experts that have finished from the University of Aberdeen School of Law. So we've got Bertha Wilson, and that's the first female justice of the Supreme Court of Canada. All right, so that's really, really great to have such a person as an alumni. We've got Leonard Dorian, Lady Dorian, and that's Lord Justice Clark. We've got Sir Ian Livingston, that's a former Chief Constable of Police Scotland, and we've got many, many more alumni that you could meet, and you will be a part of that family as well. So if you have any questions or any issues regarding careers and employability, that's the link at the bottom there. You could engage. So these slides will be available, including my recording as well. I don't know if you've watched Game of Thrones, but yeah, that's Ian Glenn as well. So he's an alumni of the University of Aberdeen. That's Adako. She did an LLM in oil and gas law back in 2012. That was just 1 year before I did my master's, and she's one of the leading energy experts around the world. And that's Chief Constable Lane Livingston, I mentioned earlier. And then if you have other questions as well, if anything that you're concerned about, we'll be happy to take a few questions here. So please put them in the chat, and we'll be happy to take them. But if you have any issues regarding your CAS, and this goes out especially to current offer holders, I want to say that not a problem. The admission teams are really very busy at the moment, trying to sort things out, and we're unable to give any specific time frame as to when you would receive your CAS. I cannot say that here, but in order to avoid unnecessary delays, please ensure that you have submitted all the correct documents, and I think that's really essential that you have all the correct documents. And you've also completed your financial guarantee form by 2nd of December at the latest for a January 25 start, and that will be sorted, and by end of July for September 2025. So they will be in touch with you. So if you've done all that, you've sent the right document, not a problem. They would reach out to you. But you can find more information about the process at abdn.ac.uk. Click on postgraduate taught, how to apply, and that's really how to apply. Really, really simple and straightforward. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. For additional information, thinking about making payments or anything, that's the link there. Really, really easy and fast. For e-registration, for my curriculum, that's the link as well. Really, really easy and seamless, I can assure you. These are also some very, very useful links. So support services, disability services, study well, learning systems, student website, pastoral guide and support, orientation, student orientation, school information. These are also very useful links that you may find useful. The slides will be available for you, and you could just click on that just to get a sense of all of these support services that are available to you. All right. In that case, please follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Scan the QR code. and that should have that should get you over to our social media pages. If you have any questions, you could easily contact me at eddy.wifa@abdn.ac.uk, or you could contact the Law PG team at lawpgtinquiries@abdn.ac.uk. Thank you. And I'm happy to take any questions at this point. So I'm just gonna stop sharing my slides. I hope you found that really useful. But if you've got any questions, please pop them in the Q&A box.
Hi, Eddie. Thank you very much for that fantastic talk. It really gave us a bit of understanding about joining Aberdeen and especially the law school. I have popped a chat message in the Q&A just to allow anybody to share any questions or ask anything. But there doesn't seem to be any questions coming our way at the moment. So that means that you've covered off everything. Great job. So I'm going to hand that over to you and I'll close off just now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure sharing these insights into the law school. And that's coming from someone who studied here at the School of Law some 11 years ago and has fallen in love with Aberdeen ever since. And it's really to say Aberdeen is that university that provides you with support, that prioritizes the students, that makes you have both an enriched learning experience, not just in terms of the academic, but in terms of the engagement and the support, and the network as well. So I will be excited to welcome you all in January, when the time comes, or in September of 2025. But do reach out if you have any questions, and thank you all for joining us. Bye for now.